Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to unbox this Raven EU17 with BDS red dot sight. Hey guys, welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do like and subscribe because you're going to be really helping me out. Particularly the like button, that helps me get seen by the YouTube algorithm. And if you're going to do unboxings, please make sure that you put eye protection on and keep yourself safe and others around you. So today then we've got the Raven EU17 black with BDS. So this is a Glock 17 variant. Now, I'm led to believe from the various things I've seen online that Raven are part of New Prol, WE, they're all pretty much the same company there or thereabouts. Just some slight QC differences or quality in certain areas changed to suit different budgets. So I've got a nice, relatively nice slip-off case. I do like a nice box. Not masses on there about it, just some general information. So these are about £110 roughly in the UK. Depending on where you're looking from. I will put a link down to Patrol Base below. In here as well, which I'm quite impressed with, there is apparently also the CO2 conversion parts, but not a CO2 mag. It's got a threaded outer barrel as well, which is really, really nice for putting suppressor on the front. We've got a nice little manual showing you how to use it, making sure that you don't shoot it upside down. Obviously, when you're doing your spet snaps moves and you're doing your sort of backflips off a trampoline, you now know that this is not suitable for shooting in that upside down position. Obviously, that's based on an 18 if you've got an EU18, but it's generally telling you the general parts of it as well. So move that out of the way. In fact, did I see then? Thought I'd seen the word New Prol on there then, but never mind. We've then got a blown up diagram, including how to change the back plates on the pistol grip, which is nice for added comfort. We've got an adjustment tool for the little red dot sight. Cleaning rod, we've got our back plates in there to change the back of the pistol grip if we needed. We've got some O-rings in there, which is nice, and a CO2 air nozzle, I'm guessing that is, for obviously if you're switching out to the CO2 mags. We've also got a magazine, which is a Tokyo Marui type Glock 17 mag. Now, there is the pistol. Now, the first thing that strikes me is that's really light. Even with the magazine in, it's actually really, really light. Now, I've never held a real Glock. I'll take the silicone rubber off the red dot side. Never held a real Glock 17. But that is really, really light, but very, very comfortable. I did, back in my early days of sort of airsoft use, I wasn't a big fan of Glocks. I didn't like the sort of squared off slide. And then, I don't know what happened, just one day I was like, do you know what? Quite like Glocks now. And I've sort of seen the light, as it were. And I do quite like the Glocks in general. I think they are quite nice, particularly Glock 17s. So we've got a traditional sort of Glock style pistol grip in plastic. I mean, there's no real play in there, but it feels very light. It doesn't feel as good a quality as certain other Glock 17s that we've had before. But if it's doing the job, it's sort of like 100, 110 pounds. You can't really argue. The slide is metal with serial number on there. And obviously the red dot sight does add a little bit. Now, by the looks of that, you've more or less got a co-witnessing system potentially going off there. Or at the bare minimum, the sights are at a height that can be still used even if the battery dies in the red dot sight. And the front one is one of these sort of like fibre optic ones that captures the light and focuses it into a dot, meaning it's quite quick and easy to pick out your targets and aim even in low light conditions, which I quite like. It racks quite satisfyingly. I'll get the mag in. Locked open, obviously because the mag's empty. Does click rather nicely forward. So just gas it, we'll see what it looks like when it fires. Remember, when you are gassing magazines, you should always do it upside down, so you are feeding the gas in like that. That is how you should gas it properly. Right, so just put a little bit of gas in. No leaking going off there. It's nice and gas tight. So here we go. Ooh, that's that's surprisingly crisp. I mean, it's not going to ever match the sort of the crispness of like the R31 with a CO2 mag in it, but that's really nice and crisp to fire. It feels quite satisfying. And I thought I would notice the lightness of it more, but actually, it's got a nice little kick to it. I'm quite impressed with that. The fact that you've got then the threaded outer barrel in there, which is, I'd say that's a positive thread. So you need a positive thread adapter, which I will go and find mine out that came with the Ghost or the Ace Tech, and hopefully get that sorted so I can get the tracer on it. So we'll cut some footage of the range and the chrono, and then we'll come back and see what we think. Wow, not my hand. Okay, so we had a bit of a mishap. On the day that I got this to film, I was on a little bit of a tight schedule, and I didn't have very long to film it before it needed to go back off on its way to its new owner. So I didn't check the footage for several days afterwards, after it had already gone. And unfortunately, Pheas basically didn't press record on his camera, so didn't actually record any footage. But never mind. Anyway, I'm going to say I wasn't quite getting out to 40 meters. I was sort of definitely 35, maybe at a real push 40. I just finding that, you know, it was 0.25 gram BB, and it just wasn't going as far as I was hoping. Now, having shot recently the R604 from Army Armament, which was absolutely hammering the BBs out some incredible distance, I was hoping for a little bit more, I suppose, from this. There we go. It just didn't seem to, even with the hop pretty much fully on, it just didn't seem to be matching anywhere near the sort of performance level. Which is a little bit disappointing, and I am sorry that I don't have that footage to show you. In terms of chrono then, we did see from the chrono that it was doing about 278 to 295.9, so we'll call it 296 FPS. Now that's in early March in the UK. Outdoor temperatures sort of below 10 degrees, if not a little bit colder. Indoor, the mag, when I fired it, was approximately 13 degrees. So not ultra cold, but, you know, sort of an okay temperature, I suppose. So at that, I'm quite happy with that sort of FPS. Obviously, a little bit of variance on there, which you will get from the, I suppose, the inconsistencies of gas, particularly in a cooler temperature like that. It does look nice. The red dot is definitely nice. The fact that it's got a threaded outer barrel on there as well to screw in and put a little suppressor on there or a tracer unit is brilliant. What I would warn is don't put something too heavy, because it could pull down on the outer barrel, and you could end up finding that as it's firing, you know, the slide comes back, the outer barrel moves down a little bit, the BBs could be catching on your suppressor or your muzzle device, whatever you've got on there. So just be careful with that sort of thing. But in general, it's quite a nice little piece of kit. It's got a really nice crisp kick to it. I suppose because it is lighter, particularly in the slide, it's going to be a little bit better on gas. You know, the R604 by comparison, not that they're the same gun, but obviously much heavier with a heavier metal slide. So isn't quite as gas efficient, but has a bigger mag almost to compensate for that, I suppose. But it is really nice and crisp. We're just not quite getting the range out of it I would hope for. I'm pretty sure a change of barrel stroke hot rubber and we would get much better results out of this than it was, basically. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I will leave the usual photos at the end. No, we won't. We nearly forgot. Discord, I apologise, I nearly forgot. So, my Discord users asked me to do a gloved operation section. So we're going to look at operating this gun with gloves on. How easy is it? So in terms of picking the gun up then, getting the mag in, absolutely dead easy and straightforward. Getting the mag out, again, nice and straightforward. I would have thought that these are sort of designed when they're made by the actual real life, real steel manufacturers. They're designed in such a way to be operated with gloves if they need to be. So they are obviously, when they're copied to the airsoft world, by that sort of inheritation of that design, inheritance of that design, they are going to be operable by gloves. Now, in terms of the top slide, changing the hop, I'm just not getting the purchase with these gloves. That's going to really frustrate me. Not that I would try and get the top slide off mid-firefight anyway, but that is going to be a pain. And if you're wanting to change the hop, those gloves are going to have to come off. But everything else, you know, I can rack the slide, I can shoot, absolutely fine. There's plenty of room in there for a gloved finger to get in there and pull the trigger. The mag release is a really nice size to let the mag out. The mag literally just, I was just going to say slides out then. It starts to come out and it's easy to just grab it, there we go, and pull it out. I always feel like doing the John Wick flick where he just presses the button and flicks the mag out at the end. The Aero 6 pretty much would allow you to do that. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not amazing either. And I think for less money in theory, an army armament potentially shoots better and nicer than that. So I hope you found that useful. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe. I will leave the usual photos of it dressed up a little bit afterwards, and I will see you next time. Bye.